And welcome back to another installment of the Pals podcast. Dani, what episode is this?
290, actually, maybe?
Holy fuck.
Because 289's this week, and then 290's us, which is
That
kind
is
of fun that we...
insane.
Like, this is an impromptu episode, and it's kind of fun that it's 290. Now our next one should be like
95 and then 300.
Yeah.
It's crazy that we're going to hit 300 by the end of the year. It's actually fucking remarkable.
Well, number one, something you should be really proud of, given you've been here from the start.
Out of the 300 episodes, well, when we're at 300, I'll have done 298 of them.
You only missed 2?
I've only missed 2 episodes.
And I don't know how many I did, but I'm proud for sticking along.
Yeah, you're definitely like between off air and on air, you've got to be close to 100.
Over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you with us when we were still doing 2 a week, or did you start when we were doing 1 a week?
I was 2 a week.
So yeah, so you're probably even like 150 then.
Less.
And
before that. Because I was with you guys during your 150.
On air, you're at a year and a half almost. So give or take 80 episodes, 75 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
This is fucking exciting.
It is.
Before we get into this episode, we have an exciting announcement, which you would have already heard.
We have a new song.
We have a new song. After 288 episodes of being flagged on YouTube for improper use of a song, which we actually did get permission from the Loud Luxury team. We had permission to use I'm Not Alright by Loud Luxury, but YouTube doesn't believe us because we are fucking nobodies, and the permission was a text message from their manager. But we have a new song, Alex, Distant Matter. Thank you. I told you how easy it was too, right?
And he's an old guest, which makes it even better. He was like literally, he's actually someone I think that you got on the podcast from like running into him or texting him or something. Yeah, we were at Vel
together, and I was just like, we're both kind of in the like VIP tent, just hanging out. We're not really drinking that night. He doesn't drink or didn't drink at the time. And I'm just chilling, and we're just 2 dudes just individually standing there. And then we became friends, had a fun night together, had him on the pod.
And now you're still pals.
Went to go see him in Nashville, and then I hit him up the other day, and I was like, Alex, like really random because I need a small favor. He's like, sure, what's up, man? I'm like, I need a new song for the podcast. Like, we're revamping, like gonna do a big push. You know, do you have anything in the vault that's like really fun, upbeat, blah, blah? I think within 30 minutes, he just texted me. He's like, yo, how's this? You can have it. And I was like, I love you, man.
I was just thinking, he actually came to our Christmas episode too.
He did, and he had that sick fit.
Yeah.
Yeah, Alex, I appreciate you, man. Thank you for being a pal.
Thank you so much.
Hopefully I come see you in LA soon.
And I love the song.
And we fucking love the song.
I thought I was going to have like really hard time like leaving the Loud Luxury song. Because there's something about it. It flowed. I hadn't heard the song in a long time. Now it just reminds me of the Pals. So it's like if I hear that song in the wild, I was like, oh, like Pals. Like it just reminded me of it. But then as soon as I heard Alex's song, I was like, this is it.
This is it, yeah.
And I'd like be happy to listen to it off air too.
Yeah. So Alex, Distant Matter, thank you. For anybody, if you like the new intro song, his name is Distant Matter. You can find him on any major streaming platform. He did a song with Dasha.
TikTok, everywhere.
He did a remix of the Dasha's My Boots Stop Talking or whatever the song's called. And it's a banger. Certified. Austin, that's it. So yeah, check him out. Okay. Dani, you want to go first? You want to talk about your comments or your ideas? I have a really good topic to talk about.
Is it serious?
Depends. It can be very serious, but it could also be very lighthearted depending on how the conversation goes.
Okay, but I want to talk about something even more lighthearted right now. You have had very good luck streak.
Yes.
In the past. And I am feeling that moment in my life right now. And I feel like all my stars are aligning in so many ways. And it was at first, I took it as stress, as why are like these things changing and happening. But now I found a way to just let it all go. And I've never, like, I feel so content and happy and that all my stars are aligning without trying.
I love that for you. What's so good in your life right now?
Well, I just bought a condo.
It's very exciting. Congratulations. First time home buyer.
So like there was a lot of like stress in the back of my brain, but then I realized they didn't have to be. But it's just like little things. Like I just had this big Europe trip with my friends, had a great time. Going to Colombia, going to New York, work's going really well. Things are just aligning and I'm learning to appreciate it more. And I'm convinced I'm going to win the lottery.
Well, I love that for you too.
I don't know why, but I've been having dreams and now I'm manifesting it. Like it's actually going to happen.
I love that for you.
And I'm okay if it's just like $2 million. But like I just think it's going to happen.
I love that. I hope you do it. Let's talk about the things that are good that are happening in your life right now too, because it is important that when things are happening really good and you feel this luck, you keep the momentum going and you appreciate it, because that's how you find more luck. At least that's what I found in past life. So you bought this new condo. That's fucking amazing. I'm so happy for you. And I'm sure you're going to make this the cutest little female home ever.
Why does it have to be like cute little female home? I can't
because
be a cute little home.
That's how you are going to make it.
Yeah.
Your home and my home will look very different.
Well, like, okay, so can we actually just pivot this talking about the home buying process?
Yeah, let's do it.
Because it is something that people talk about and you see it on a day-to-day basis, but you don't realize how much goes into it until it's happening. So I started looking at places in May, casually. Every place I'd see, I was like, oh, I love this, love this, love this. But I was having that hard time kind of moving it to the next step. Took on and off breaks throughout the summer, given trips and just life happening. And I think I was very unsure. I was very focused on living in Mimico. So that was like where we were looking. Got back from Europe. I had some conversations with my mom just in passing, like nothing even serious. And it was like, are you sure you don't want to live more in the downtown core? But like, especially given your life, what you want. Like, I want to be able to walk outside and be around people. Which is not saying I don't have that in Mimico, but it's just a bit more isolated. A lot of my friends still do live in the city. I love the city as a whole. Just being in a city, maybe not Toronto itself. But whatever, I just bought here, so I have to love it. That's another topic. And then, anyways, so that all happened. Looked downtown once. Second time I went, I was like, Mom, you got to come down. I think it's getting serious. And then within a week and a half, I saw some places, put an offer down on my first day out with my mom, found a place, was going to go a bit over budget, but I was like, it's fine, I can make it work. And then you get outbid. I don't like games. That day stressed me out more than anything. And that is so normal. But when you look outside of it, you're like, oh, okay, it's whatever, you put an offer in. You just think it's going to work out, or okay, yeah, let me play around. Let me just outbid them, or like just go back and forth. But when you're in it, I was like, why? And like, how? And I just like instantly just like retreated. And I was like, I can't do this. I don't want to do this. I don't want to buy a place. This is too much for me. And I like felt like I almost had to remove myself. But then I went back in, kept looking at other places, put an offer in, and it all worked out.
To only have to put 2 offers in is really good.
Yeah.
Like, I think I put a dozen in almost.
Yeah. I guess it's just like the time too, but like things are definitely picking back up. But then I was also realizing certain things about what I wanted, and that I just kind of had to accept it in a certain way and just focus on that. Like at first I was really set on having a kitchen, a table, and like a living room, which is not that much to ask for a condo.
In downtown Toronto. A kitchen, a living room, and a dining room.
Basically. And I was very focused on that. Nothing else mattered. I didn't care about a balcony. I didn't care about like certain things. And then I really wanted a bath. But again, that could have...
No, a bath is fair. But
again, that offer I put on the place last week didn't have a bath. But I fell in love with the space so much that I was like, I don't even care. There's a shower, a powder room. I'm fine without a bath. I will make do. I will survive. And then, anyways, I kept looking at places, and there were some places I was seeing that were such good deals, and they're like 1,100, 1,200 square feet in the middle of Toronto. But then there's like a 500 square foot deck on the rooftop, which is unreal, unheard of, but it would take like 30 grand to fix it. Or a countertop that I'd have to redo, or a bathroom that I'd have to build. And it's like, you don't realize how much you have to like do your pro cons of like what's actually worth it to you in the end.
Yeah.
Whereas like the place I'm moving into now, there's only one thing I'm adding to it.
Which is?
I'm going to do like a custom island table.
That's nice.
So I'm going to make like a custom kitchen island, but like make a table attached to it. So it kind of has the best of both worlds. Because right now it's just like an open, like it's like a blank kitchen.
What was the best part about the whole home buying process?
Kia was great. Kia
is great. Shout out Kia.
To be honest, like just even from when it started, because it's not like and again, I'm going to have a lot of like conversations with people after this podcast, but I mentioned to him in passing when we were at Parlor one day. Oh yeah, I want to buy something. And he's like, okay, tell me around your budget. And I like roughly set it out one day. And he came back to me, no pressure about it all, but he actually like put in the work and came up to me and was like, okay, sent me an email, just followed up, which no one else had done that in my life. And since then, it's been like, he made it so easy without being pushy.
Kia's unbelievable.
And I could also be honest with him, like, no, this is not it. Like, this is not like, he knew kind of like what I would like and what I didn't like, and he just never made me feel like I had to do something. Or like even when I put that offer in, he's like, I think you should put this amount in and you'll get it. But he's like, I don't want you to go over, so I think like what you wanted to and what we discussed. So he's like, why don't you up your offer to this and then let's just call it a day and not look back.
That's exactly when I did it with Kia too. That's what he did. He's like, look, like we lost places because he's like, you're overpaying for this. It's not worth it. Like we're gonna find your sweet spot, and we did.
Yeah, and it's like the little things too that like you don't even, because I'm also looking for like an investment purpose too. Like I know this isn't going to be my forever home. Like this is going to be, whether it's 5 years or I keep it as an investment property. Like I don't know where my life's going to be, but my main goals were like, if I
get out of the house, but
it's also like if I have a partner and let's say we move in together, could we live in this place together for at least a year or two? Until we decide our next goal. My next goal after that would be, do I save this like as an investment property and get something else, or do I sell this and use this for another something else in the future? Agree. And that's what my goal was right now. So even looking at some places, I'm like, okay, I love this and I could afford this right now, but what's the resale value looking in 3 to 5 years? And again, that could change in 2 seconds. Like look what happened with COVID, or we don't like, I even talked to the mortgage guy the other day and he was like, we might be going into like a world war. We might go into this, like you don't know what's going to be happening in the world. So you can't really predict that far, but it's just estimating based off like trends in the past, what's going to happen. And that was like one of the big things that I wanted to look at. And he like made that very easy.
That's good. Kia is really good at what he does. And he's like, he makes you feel comfortable. He's also a friend, which helps.
But again, he's not like a close friend of mine. He's a close friend of yours that I guess I've met in passing. Yeah. But it's like throughout the process, we've become friends through it because I've got...
And you hang out and stuff.
We've like hung out, but yeah.
I want to ask you, what was the worst part about the home buying process?
Getting outbid. I don't like games. And I feel like these people like... The listing
I also
agents,
you also don't deal with stress very well, right? So it's like...
I do deal with stress well. I might just like show it differently.
Okay, we can agree to disagree. But when the stress for something you really passionate, you really care about, like that's something where you can like, I think you over exaggerate a lot of things, but I would actually agree with you when you say like it's really distracting. Yeah. Sorry, not distracting. It's really stressful. Sorry, that was distracting to me.
It's just as food.
It's just as food. When people like when you're in a position where you really care about something, you really want something, and you have that extra added little stress, that little stress becomes a big stress.
It becomes a big stress without trying to do, and it's
I
just
agree
like underlying. And my biggest thing is it's like, I guess I don't like the real estate game. Is like, okay, let's just
list it low and start bidding more.
Like I'm just not into that. Like that's what happened with the property I just bought. They listed it low. So I went a bit over asking because I'm like, I know what the value is, the building, what's been sold, and like the comparables around it. So I was like, let me go higher. They almost wanted right there and then over $100,000 over asking.
See, I hate that. It should be if you list something and someone offers you exactly what you listed for, you should have to.
I offered more than what they listed, so they should automatically just say yes.
Yes.
Like don't go. And again. But you can see what the person who right now who I bought it off of, like it's great for me, but for them it sucks. Like they're at a loss. They put in like automatic blinds and a whole system for all the lighting and stuff to be run off an app. and an iPad. So they put that money into the.
Yeah, but that's not expensive, Dani.
I like for what they paid for it. Yes, it was like 30 grand for all of that together. They put in.
The fuck.
Yeah.
You can do it for like 5.
Okay, so they put 38 grand into that, and they had bought it over. They already had bought it over for what I'm paying. So they're at a loss, which is unfortunately that's how the market goes. You only bought it a couple of years ago. I don't know your financial situation. Whatever. This you had to sell for a reason, and this is what's happening. But then to go and list it at a price and want that much more, or you had listed this before, you were just over like too high. No one was buying off. Like, yeah. I'm sorry, that's life.
Yep.
Like you can't really like. And then I thought that was like wrong on like the listing agent's part, but I guess this is what people do. The other property that I had when they won this bidding war, so I saw it on Sunday, put my offer in within like 2 hours of leaving the place. Because Kia was like, Danielle, I just think this one's going to go. And it's a great value. So I was like, okay, you know what? Put my offer in. We had like a deadline. And the listing agent calls Kia and was like, we have more offers coming in. We need it. But she also said, she played it off at first as it's a Sunday night. Can we deal with this in the morning? And we're like, okay, you have until like 12. Calls Kia again or something, and it's like, we have 4 offers coming in. This girl was holding off, and basically whoever else was interested in the property, she's like, yeah, we have an offer. Let's go. Let's get this bidding war going.
That's so annoying.
So as soon as my offer came in, all these other trinkets came rushing in. And yeah, I honestly probably could have pulled off. Not what I wanted to, so it didn't work out, and I would have been really money poor.
Everything happens for a reason.
House poor. That's what I meant. But everything happens for a reason.
Everything happens for a reason.
And I move in November 25th.
Very exciting, Jill. I'm very happy for you.
Yeah.
That's a very exciting part of your life.
Yeah.
It's also scary when you have to hand over the check.
Yeah. Well, it's even like going back and forth. It's like my first time dealing with like a mortgage and
mortgage is easy.
I know, but like having to talk to them, and it's just like all of that was just like it seemed overwhelming before, and then as soon as I got the process going, I'm like, this is actually, they like hold your hand through everything.
Yeah, it's super easy.
But
that stuff's easy.
That stuff was making me nervous, and I think that's why I was delaying things in my brain.
Okay.
But as soon as I got it done, it's so nice.
What else do you think is like the stars are aligning for you? In what other ways?
I don't know. I just feel happier and lighter.
Well, there's obviously okay. Let's dive into this. Like, what do you think it is? Like, obviously, like you're in a good space mentally. What else is going your way?
It sounds. I feel like I can't pinpoint it.
Really?
But it's like I just don't know how to pinpoint it. But I feel like when I came back from this trip, like I felt like this whole summer I was just focusing on this trip. And I got home. It took me like a second to like recalibrate. But since coming back, I feel like I've actually like recalibrated, and I'm like, I just have like a better outlook on things, and I'm like ready to continue on this path.
Okay.
And maybe it was just me personally that I just thought like so negatively about things in my brain. And you always joke around how you want to see my brain, but things were just like going so negative, and like I was just like, I felt like I was just going through the days.
Okay, that's interesting. I wouldn't have thought that from you.
Yeah, because I also like internalize a lot of the things. And that's what I do when I get home, and I can't sleep, and I this and that. Like I internalize it all.
And I've told you this before. I think you're big. Like you over dramatize things, and you wear other people's emotions, and you take in other people's emotions, and I think like you wear a lot of them. So like I never see you just like going through emotions. I see you like going through peaks and valleys, like the highs and the lows, and that's how I see. So like if you're at a high right now, I like this. If you can keep this consistently high, yeah.
And I think it's one thing, and I think we've talked about this before a lot too, is that like just prioritizing things that matter to me, or that I know what I need, and I have to continue that. There was like points before where people would ask me like, oh, let's go for dinner, or let's hang out this night, that night, let's do this, do that. And I was like overextending myself and not taking the moments of what I needed to do. And that's where I was losing myself. And recently it's like, no, I can't do this. And I've like taken a step back, or then I've realized like, you know what? Yes, I can do this. And it's just put me at a better place.
Okay. So no big. It's like nothing big other than the house.
Big.
It's just a bunch of little
other
things.
Than my house, it's just like little things that I just feel like, and like I feel like I'm finally like back on track at work.
People are back from holidays and shit.
People are back, but it's I'm going on another holiday. Like I didn't think this was gonna come, but I'm lucky enough that Maz is taking me to Colombia with her. That's another big win. That's
there you go. There's another
very
win.
Big win. I get back
Free
from this
trip.
trip. She wins a trip and she's taking me. She could have taken anyone.
Yeah, 100%.
Fully paid for on like an island where you can't just go and buy a ticket or a hotel.
Yeah, it's unreal.
So I think that's very exciting. Yeah. Small wins. Thanksgiving's on Saturday now, not Sunday. So I'm not missing that with my family.
The little wins. Those
are just like little things.
What are you doing to kind of, okay, so now we're obviously it's beginning of October, middle of October by the time this gets released. What are you doing and what are the goals to like keep you focused for the rest of the year? Like what things you want to do with this newfound luck of yours?
Well, I'm going to win the lottery.
Okay, but what are things that are actually attainable in your power?
In my power?
Like you're feeling lucky right now, right? And it's the best feeling in the world.
I just want to continue on the path. And it's not like, because I don't want to say, because I feel like a lot of times when we have this conversation too, I feel like it's always just like you have to pick you and you have to do it you. But I think it's just like knowing obviously I'm a people pleaser and I want everyone around me, but I want to be able to prioritize like the little moments that I have available and just like make good use out of them. But also just like stop focusing on one thing. Like right now, like I don't want my main like next 2 months to just be like, oh, I have a condo. That's all I can do. I have to just prep for that. Like I need to enjoy week by week.
So yeah,
focus on that.
What are some things you want to accomplish or what are some things you want to focus on then in the next coming weeks and next coming months? We got 10 weeks until the new year. So obviously we got Colombia. Colombia's a big win. That's exciting. That's a big win. We've got the condo. That's a big win. What are some little victories you're looking for? What are some little things you want to achieve and attain? Because you've got, again, this newfound luck is being lucky is the best feeling in the world.
I won't even like, maybe I was saying it was lucky. I don't even think it's lucky. I think it's the stars are aligning for me now.
Okay, so the stars are aligning. What are the things you want to accomplish with this stars aligning for you?
I don't know yet.
So you just got all this luck. The stars are aligning. You haven't decided what you want to do with it?
No, I want, like, why does everything, like, why can't I just enjoy it for a second? And focus on it.
So what are you focusing on then?
Work, life. I don't know. Like, you want to know every single detail about like every day of my life?
I'm asking that. You said you want to focus on
like one
things.
of my biggest things right now is that like I actually am like I don't like being in Toronto. Okay. We've talked about this. Everyone else we talked to have talked about this.
Episodes about this, yeah.
And I feel like it keeps coming up in conversation. But I was in Montreal this weekend. Random weekend, okay? Nothing was really planned. Nothing was in the books. And I could have done so much in Montreal, but I didn't. We took it day by day, and I ended up having such a good Saturday of just, like, walking around the city. And it felt like I was in Toronto almost, but in Montreal. Like, I didn't feel like I was losing my weekend beyond vacation, if that makes sense. I feel like a lot of the times I'm focusing on all these, like, big trips and doing this, and obviously they're great, but I want to find those moments again in the next couple of months. So whether it is if I truly am not as happy here, make those times and make that effort to get away once or every couple, go somewhere.
Okay.
Even if it's for a day.
Okay, that's good. Like in Niagara Falls, Blue Mountain.
Again, I drove 5 hours to Montreal by myself, like Vicky went before.
The drive's not bad.
The drive was not bad.
Especially if the weather's okay.
Get there, we arrived. We had like a really nice dinner. Woke up Saturday. I think we did like 20,000 steps, not even trying, but just like running around shopping, doing random things. Had like a really nice dinner that night. I was with some of her coworkers. Like everything was just really nice.
I love that.
So I think it's just kind of finding those moments when I can. But things are busy. I feel like the next couple of weeks and the next couple of months are just busy. I think my next like free weekend would be in December.
Me and the boys were talking about this today. I don't think I have a free weekend, like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday for the rest of the year.
See, I think I've left that for December. I think I've planned 2 months like thing, but it also sucks sometimes because sometimes I'm like, I wish I could just figure out like, hey, what's going on this weekend? Or me and my friends used to do it like a Friendsgiving every single year. We can't plan that. We can barely plan like a Wednesday night to go for dinner.
Yeah, I'm very. We talked about this all the time. I'm done with the city. I don't unless it's a planned activity or item in the city. I don't plan on being seen in the city very often. Like I go for walks and whatever. That's fine, but I plan on just working out, playing pickleball, going to work, traveling, doing shit related to the book, shit related to pickleball. And like even today, I was thinking like I plan on going to 4 football games this year. I haven't been to one yet. So it's like I got to squeeze in 4 in the next 10 weeks, basically.
I have 2 planned in November.
I still have another marathon to run and a half marathon to run.
Aren't you doing the one in October? Oh, on top of that.
That's my marathon, and then I have to run a half marathon too still. So don't know when I'm going to do it, but I'll figure it out. But Dani, I really genuinely do love this for you, and I hope you use this time. Like I know when I feel lucky. Lately, I haven't been feeling that lucky, which is insane. But the last few years where I've been insanely lucky, I feel like everything I touch, everything I do, everything I want to do, I get done because I have this luck. And you can't explain the feeling. It's the best feeling in the world, just knowing that things go your way.
Well, it's not even like everything's 100% going the way I've been planning it in my brain, but I think that's what I'm trying to accept is that not everything I can plan or control, but there could be a good outcome from it. Like something happened to me the other week and I wanted it to go one way and it didn't. So I kind of just let it go. I didn't harp on it, didn't let it ruin my mood, didn't let anything, and it ended up all working out in the end. Like it ended up.
I think it's more your attitude changing.
I think it's my attitude, and I think
you're
it might
more
not
glass
be,
half full than stars aligning. But
maybe I just feel like things are just okay and good right now.
Good, I love that.
And it may be just because the condo just closed and that happened, and it just happened quick, and it was like some high. But
keep this momentum going. Like do things.
I just want to keep it going and not fall back, and I'm really scared to fall back into this like winter slump again because. I think 2 weeks ago when it was raining every single day at work, I was like literally waking up,
I know exactly what you feel.
Running into work, and I was like, get me out of here. I don't want to be here. I'd finish work, I'd get home, and I'd be like, I didn't want to do anything. I know what you mean. I didn't even I didn't want to work out, and I was in such a good like pattern. I didn't want to like see my friends. I didn't want to talk to people. And I don't want to feel like that. And I really don't want to feel like that this winter because I really felt like that last year. So I'm really trying to set myself up for this winter to be like, okay. And I really do, as much as like I've hated, and I don't know if it's because I was at the cottage so much this summer that I enjoyed that. Then I was in Europe. And in September, I feel like I was barely here. As much as I want to be away, I want to find a way to love where I am again.
It's a good goal to have.
But I don't want it to be solely because I have a new condo. Like, I want to find the little things. So I guess that's a goal.
Yeah, okay. I'm very opposite in this, but I love this for you.
I know that, but I know.
Yeah, I love this for you.
I know that, but I'm trying to be realistic that in the next 1 or 2 years, I am going to be in Toronto. I never say more than that because I actually don't know what's going to happen or what could happen. But for the next 2 years, I am in this city. And I want to be able to enjoy every day and not like regret it because I've been hating it.
So what are some things you want to do to enjoy? Like I had a conversation with actually Melina from Girls Next Door podcast. We went for a run a couple of weeks ago, and we were having this a very similar conversation like this. You know, she just moved into the city, and I was like, oh, like what were some goals you wanted to do this year? Like, did you achieve them? And she said like, no, like she wanted to make more friends, try new things. And I was like, okay, well at least you know what you want to do. Like, and then we were chatting about. So like, what are you want to enjoy Toronto? What are things you want to do to like? Is it like restaurants or is it just enjoying the city again, like doing random shit like museums?
I think going to new places.
New places? Okay.
I think new things, whether it's like I even texted you today. Like there's a lot of new restaurants I want to try.
Like what are some that you want to try?
I really want to go to Bar Prima.
Okay, I heard really good things about it.
Sam and Fab went last week and literally after he like left, he'd messaged me. He's like 5 stars. Everything was amazing. But it's like little things like that. There's a lot of new places. Or maybe there's like new activities. I love activities and I think I'm having way more fun. And I think I was saying this to DB actually. When we played like that Monopoly Go game at your house, just that I like enjoy those little things.
Yeah,
or, like,
that was a really fun night.
I had like a Saturday night where I was hanging out with my sister's friends and we were playing Codenames till 3 a.m. In what world, like number one, I love my sleep way too much to like be at home and want to go to bed that late. But I had so much fun doing that.
See, the problem, at least I find, is that to do something like that on a weekday, is very tough because like I don't know about you, but for people that work out after work,
There's
and then
no time.
and then you have to drive. How do you get anywhere before
but
8 o'clock?
Like weekends, but again, like it's hard right now because weekends are so.
It's tough to get people together, and then it's tough. Like if you called me, you're like, "Oh, Ricky, do you want to like stay in on a Saturday night to play code games?" I'd be like, "Absolutely not."
You would think not, but then at the same time, I'd have way more fun doing that than going to locals only on another Saturday night.
See, but the potential to have way more fun at locals only is there to me than to stay in and play code games.
Yeah, see, I'm trying to find that like in between because
it's just also like our group of friends. I feel like we don't do the same amount of things, and we're so different. Like I don't enjoy staying in to play video games.
Yeah.
Or card games or stuff like that. Like if that's what it is and everybody's doing it, then I can do it. But
like I'd love to do that on a Friday night and then Saturday go out to the city. But that's another one of my things. Like I really want to go back to like 2018 me and not being such a fucking loser when I like actually leave my house.
Sorry, define this. You weren't a loser in 2018, but now you're admitting you are a loser when you leave your house?
Yeah.
Okay. What makes you a loser when you leave your house?
No, just like I
so
feel
the way
like
you act
like,
when you're out in public? Yeah, okay, I can see that.
I feel like I really like
I'm
retreat
kidding.
and like my confidence in a lot of situations. Like I let
so
my anxiety.
You know, you are so confident in certain situations. In other situations, you are a little bitch.
I retreat like as if.
And
like,
I don't get it.
I don't get it. This is a very new thing.
It's not new. We've been friends for like 3 years, and you've been like this since I've known you.
It's new for the past like 2.5 years since COVID, I guess.
So it's not new.
Okay, that's new.
3 years is not new, Danielle. COVID is not new.
I just feel like I've retreated so much in so many aspects, and I don't want to feel like that. And I feel like I stopped a bit this weekend, and it's only been one weekend, but one weekend is still a stride forward.
All it does is take one little moment like this to change your fucking life. Even DB, I'm talking about, like I talk to him every day. He's back at the gym. He's doing things just like you to not get in those winter blues again. Mm-hmm. And he's like in such a good mental space, and like he's losing weight and he's doing all those things. And like I feel like you're in that same vibe right now too.
Mm-hmm. And like I really want to just like keep this. I don't want to go back, so I want to keep that up. What?
Danielle, to be honest, what I wanted to talk about was something related to you too. It wasn't the road we went down.
What, you want to talk about how dramatic I am?
No, not at all. Actually. That's not what I wanted to talk about at all. I actually had a really good topic to talk about with you.
Awesome.
But I'm actually, I'm really enjoying how like open you are right now. I'm genuinely really happy that you're doing this, and that you're in a good mental space. I don't know why you're laughing. I'm genuinely I'm saying a nice fucking comment to you. You know what? I'll just talk bad about you. And then like fuck.
What did you want to talk about?
I was gonna say, since we usually talk about my dating life and why I'm single, we never really dive into yours and why you're single.
This is another thing. I need to put myself out there more. But okay, so I actually had this conversation with my friend.
I didn't even fucking get into it. But you know what, Danielle, go. Because I think you're generally doing great right now. And I think people are going to enjoy listening to talk to you right now. I genuinely do.
Think so.
I think you are going to relate to a lot of women. The men that are listening might not relate to you at all right now. But the women listening to you, you are speaking fucking from the heart. And you're speaking thoughts that are very cohesive, and you're making sense. And I think you are targeting.
I'm making sense.
You are. Everything you're saying, how you feel differently right now. For the last little bit, you haven't been feeling the same. You haven't been feeling this sense of like glass half full, stars aligning, luck. And lately you are. And there's women and there's probably even men that feel the same way, where that moment happens and it changes their outcome and their outlook on everything.
Okay, well, like
and I feel like you're going through this right now. It's amazing.
This is so small to so many people probably, but to me, like, it's been big recently. But tomorrow night, we have a podcast that ends at 7. I would usually want to run the fuck home to get home, get my shit done, whatever. But I was like, oh, do you want to go for dinner? And you're like, oh, I can't. I have like stuff to do. So I messaged some of the girls who I haven't seen in a while. And I was like, hey guys, I'm going to be downtown. Let's go for dinner. And they're like, oh my God, yes, thank God. That's like a little thing. It's like, I wouldn't have wanted to do that in the past couple of weeks. So I'm trying to embrace that.
And I love that.
But it also like crosses off some checks. Like, I can do it all in one night.
Yeah.
Before I said podcast, nothing else. Don't talk to me. Don't look at me. Now I can like enjoy my nights while still enjoying everything else.
But this is exactly what you need to be doing. Like, look, you're taking advantage of this newfound luck.
It's not luck.
Whatever we're going to call it.
It is luck because I'm winning the lottery.
Newfound energy. Let's say it. And you're taking advantage of it.
Yeah. Anyways, continue what you were going to say.
I was just going to say, we always talk about my dating life and why I'm single and all these other things. But I think we should talk about you and your dating life and your relationships and all those things. And this, I'm not prying, but I'm just saying there's two hosts on this podcast. And when we talked about my dating life, it did well. I think we should talk about yours.
But I don't have a dating life.
Okay, so that's what we want to talk about.
I physically do not have a dating life.
So why do you think you're single?
Okay, so I'm going to bring this back to the conversation. So I went for breakfast with my sister's friend in Montreal. And, like, she loves to talk. You think I like to talk? She likes to talk. And I love you. Love you so much, Sophie. But she's young, a couple years younger, too. But just putting into perspective, she moved to LA, not knowing anyone. Or, like, maybe one or two people here and there. But, like, has this roommate. And she's just, like, very open and very honest about, like, going on dates and who she's meeting. And she's like, yeah, like, my therapist told me I have to, like, start just, like, putting myself out there a bit more. Like, I was talking to other people about, or I feel like we talked about this on the podcast with, like, Jed and Jade about, like, Hinge and this and that. That's just not who I am. And I've just realized I cannot use these dating apps. But I want to start putting myself out there more. I just need to figure out how.
How do people meet before dating apps?
In person. But I also need to start putting myself in situations that, like, let's be real, I am not meeting the love of my life at Locals Only right now.
First off, you could potentially.
But I am not.
Oh, you're not. 100% you're not.
I just don't think I am.
Okay, so there's a difference.
But then I'm also realizing I just don't think my person's here. I'm really thinking my person's not in Canada. No, maybe not Canada.
Look,
maybe not Toronto.
I joke about it all the time.
And I
too.
say this, but I'm actually serious.
But Danielle, how do you know? Like, that's why. So back to the original question. Why are you single?
I don't know. Before, it was because I wanted to be. And I think I needed to, like, work on some things in me. And I'm very, like... Are
you okay talking about the things you had to work on inside you?
No.
No? Okay, that's fair. Continue.
No, cannot talk about that stuff.
That's fine. Fair enough.
But I think I had to get over some things. And I'm a big advocate for people. If you can't, like, learn to love yourself and be independent, and maybe just because I am very independent, but, like, if you can't learn to, like, do that, then you can't be your best self for someone else. And okay. I'm very strong advocate. And maybe before, when I thought I was, like, ready to get into a relationship, maybe I wasn't as ready as I thought I was.
That's fair.
And then I also feel like we're gonna get real deep. I feel like a lot of the times after, like, you go through, like, these heartbreaks, you can, like, really lose who you are and, like, your self-worth. And you can fall into these traps when you meet people of, like, okay, yeah, this is it. Like, I like him. But do you actually like him? Or is it just, like, the validation you're receiving from them?
Very true.
And, like, I don't want that. I want to find my person. I want to find my Jed and Jade. I want to find my best friend. I don't want to settle for the rest. So until 100%. I find that person, which, okay, this is actually a goal of mine, is to, like, find ways to actually put myself out there again.
I love that.
Because I didn't before. And I said this actually on Sunday to Sophie. I'm like, Sophie, I get what you're saying. You want to do... I'm getting older, but I'm not old enough. We also have to learn that, like, this is not... Things are different nowadays. But I'm ready to slowly start putting myself out there. I don't want to rush into it. I don't want to, like, make... But, like, I need to find ways. And that's something I need to find.
So let's talk about this, because this is a good conversation. Because, again, they're not just women. There are men and women that are thinking the exact same thing. After heartbreak, they're working on themselves and they're not seeking... And
it's been a while. And it's not like I've been heartbroken for 4 years or whatever. But it's just been, like, on and off things. It's like, you don't want to, like...
What?
It's not a complete, like... I haven't talked to anyone in 4 years.
I never said that. I said, so what? You are in a good talking mood today, and I really love this for you.
No, I just don't find, like, I just, like, there's ebbs and flows into it all.
What are little things you could do to put yourself out there more?
Number one, I think I need to start going to new places. I need to stop being so shy in regular situations when I'm uncomfortable.
That's a very good one.
Who says when I go to a coffee shop, I can't say hi to the person next to me? Why do I have to act so awkward? Why do I have to act like when someone gives me the wrong coffee, I just say thank you and move on? No, that's the wrong coffee.
I don't think that's a good dating example, but I 100%
I know,
agree with
but
what
like,
you're
you
saying.
know what I mean? Like
I know what you're saying.
in
Yeah.
these situations, or
A
like
cute guy holds the door for you. You can say thank you and, hey, what's your name? You from here? No, is that too far for you?
no, that's actually, that could happen.
Okay.
That's not the worst thing.
Okay.
I think number one is like maybe putting myself into new situations.
It's a great
But I
one.
need to
Yeah.
figure out how to do that.
It's literally, I talked to Melina about this, the exact same thing. And the best advice I could give, if you want to put yourself in new situations, is pick one night a week. Now you're going to be back in the city and you want to not get into those winter blues and that winter slump. Pick one night a week, whether you do it alone or with friends. You go on Groupon, you buy an activity on Groupon. They're cheap as fuck. Or you find not a happy hour, but like those places that have like 2-for-1 mini putt tonight, and do a different activity every single week. And you make it a thing where every week you invite different people and you try and see as many people. Like, so I do it with workouts all the time. Like that's how I, do see certain friends that don't drink as much or don't party as much or don't do certain things. I'm like, let's get a workout in. Okay. And we'll do like a berries, or we'll do like yesterday I did Jaybird and Jaybird and Othership with a random person that I wanted to pick their brain on something. So I was like, hey, like, are you free? Like, I'd love to like pick your brain on this. Like, why don't we do Jaybird and then like we can like hang out before Othership and we'll do an evening together. And we had an amazing time together. And I learned so much about the topic I wanted to learn about, and I loved it. And it was all around like health and wellness too, so it was perfect. It was a little bit more expensive than I wanted to, because like obviously Jaybird's like 40 fucking bucks, which is crazy. But it was good. It was a great night, great evening.
Well, so that's like another thing. That's why I asked you about Altea today, because I'm obviously moving down on the West End, and like I am very awkward, hate talking to people in workout situations unless I'm very close to you or comfortable with you. Like, think about how long it took me to go to a workout class with you there.
Yeah, but Danielle, think about how easy this would be, how many boxes you could check off by joining a class.
Well, no. Just now it's like before. It's like when I lived.
Like a class pass would be perfect for you.
And I used to do that. But again, I would do it with my cousin or my sister who I was comfortable with.
It's a new year, Danielle. You've got this newfound vibes and energy.
Then I would like get to know the studio, and then I would start going on my own, because I got to know that place and I got to go by myself. But it was a me thing. Something like Altea, and I even told this to Akil last week, absolutely fucking terrifies me. Because there's people and you have to walk in and you have to see people you might not want to see, or you have to have conversations when you're not in the mood to have conversations. And that's like a big... That scares me. That's a part of that brings out anxieties that I don't like. That I know I'm not going to care about. I go once or twice and then I'm completely fine.
Yeah, and then it's also,
or it's
something
like making like, oh, my
cousin's
cousin's a member there. Oh, I can just call my cousin out. Haven't seen her in a while. Okay, let's go to the gym together today. Makes it easy. And that's exactly what you just said. Like, kind of make
it. You should have social gatherings. I think so. It's like you check off a bunch of boxes, right? It's one day a week where you decide you're going to do something. Because now you're back downtown and you're the type that like. You're not like me where you split time at home and shit. Like, actually, fuck my life. I've been downtown basically every fucking day lately. It's the most annoying thing in the world, and I hate it. But yeah, like, you're downtown all the time. Like, you're not, I don't want to say you're not as busy as me, but you don't do as many extracurriculars as I do. So you should pick one day a week, whether it's a gym, it's an arts and crafts, it's a movie night with a friend, or it's something outside of Dancing with the Stars on Tuesday nights.
That's a very important night for me.
And that's what I said. Like, outside from that, I don't want to talk about Dancing with the Stars. We're not going on this.
No, but that relates back to the fact that, like, I realize that that's something I love, and I love doing that with my sisters, that I have denied seeing people because of that. And I love my friends, but it made me so much happier to say no. And usually I would sacrifice it and watch it another day, but I didn't. And it made me so much happier.
Good job. For staying in and watching Dancing. But no, Danny, I really think like picking something you love, picking something new with people you love, I think would be really good for you.
Yeah. I just also
But also put yourself in like slightly uncomfortable positions.
Like, I feel like a lot of the time, I feel like I want to put myself in other like other situations and put myself in new situations. But like I also feel like you feel like I don't have anything on in my life. Like, I don't do anything, but there's like,
I never said you don't do
my
anything.
My days are like,
but you told me you had like a crazy 4 days ahead of you, and I thought about that, and I was just like, that's like a very normal week for me.
Yeah, but I had other things going on that
I had to
knew
stay
were
in on a
coming up.
Saturday because I had to do laundry, and that was why. It was something like that.
No. I wanted.
It was literally it was a Thursday. I have the craziest weekend. Like I have like to study
I
for
didn't
school.
have a crazy weekend,
And I have to do laundry, and then like this movie's on or my show's on Sunday night, and I'm like, okay, what about the other 12 hours of Sunday?
No, I was supposed to go to Buffalo that Sunday, which I didn't end up going.
Yeah.
And Saturday,
You had nothing.
I knew things were going to pop up though, and things did pop up, and I ended up doing it. And I still went on Thursday, and I didn't get my stuff done. So I didn't do my laundry and all my other activities that I wanted to do until afterwards.
So you weren't really
I think
that
I did
busy.
that Sunday.
So you weren't really that
just
busy.
things changed. But that was just regardless. But I knew if I stayed home, I would have done it Thursday, and then I would have felt better. If you know when sometimes little things in your life are, if they're not organized, everything feels désorganisé. Like it feels like all over the place.
Yeah, sure.
Like sometimes the smallest thing can be not perfect, and I feel like it's all falling apart, but it isn't. And you just have to fix that one little moment for it to all feel okay. I needed that moment, and I didn't have that moment.
And you didn't get it all weekend.
I didn't get it till Sunday night, maybe.
And was your weekend thrown off? No, it wasn't.
But Ricky, that's a mental me thing.
But that's what I'm saying.
But I'm allowed to have those moments that I need to reorganize myself and center myself.
Need and want are different things.
Maybe I wanted to center myself.
You wanted to, but you didn't, and you ended up having a good weekend. That's what I'm trying to say.
You're making it
sound like, oh, because I didn't do this, my life is falling apart. No, it didn't.
I never said it was falling apart.
You literally said if this isn't my life feels like
that's what it feels like. But sometimes I just need that centering moment, and it's okay to have those centering moments.
100%, 100% it is.
So it's like you can't shame someone for wanting to have.
I never shamed you.
That's what it feels like, though.
I'm saying
when that day you sat there and you sat in the studio and you said, "What do you have to do in your life that's like more?" And I said, "What does it fucking matter to you what I have to do? Because this is what I have to do, and this is what's gonna make me feel good." So because it's not as busy as you waking up, going to the gym, going to work, going to an event, having a girl over, going to bed. That's a typical Tuesday for you.
Not exactly, but continue. It's fine.
Because it's not exactly that.
But Dani, sometimes you.
It's like
but that's
it's
what I'm
not
saying.
okay.
But no, I'm saying the way you deal with stress sometimes is very childish.
But it's not childish when I have a lot of school and work going around. I'm trying to get my CPA right now.
Agreed.
So it's like that is the focus. But I'm exhausted too after a 9-hour day of work. 8-hour day.
So is everybody else.
Of course.
So is everybody else that works.
Of course.
So when you say I have a crazy 4 days, it's either you're being very dramatic, or you're not dealing with stress very well. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, so we actually had this conversation at work today on one of our walks. We were talking about hobbies. I said, "Oh, one of my friends is taking up this." She goes, "Oh, how does she have the time?" I'm like, "Well, at least not everyone likes to go to bed at 9:30 like you do, or like I do, like if I can." And she goes, "Yeah, you're right." She goes, "I like to eat my dinner at 5:30, go on a walk after dinner. By the time that's done, it's 8, and now it's time to go to bed. Like, where do people have the time for that?" And she goes, "As soon as I go to bed a bit later, it like messes up my week, and then I feel like not organized at work and this and that." I said, "Yeah, I get it. Sometimes I feel like that too, but then I've also had to learn, and I've always been someone before that was like very busy. Like before COVID happened, I had a full-time job. I was still working at MLSC. I still had a very prominent social life where I was like trying to do things every 5 seconds and like everything. Like I did everything. And I think that's where one thing COVID taught me to slow down, but maybe it taught me to like slow down a bit too much in ways that I'm trying to find that groove back in that mix. But it's okay.
I never said it wasn't okay. That day, the point I was making is that when you push off to your friends the things that you love, and you're making what seems like to me excuses, just say, "I don't want to go." Because you're making all these excuses to a person that is definitely busier than you.
But how are excuses?
You just say, "Hey, I don't want to go. I don't care to go that much. It's far. I'd rather do this." That was the point I was making, is that you came up with all these reasons why you can't go, and I showed you that those weren't real reasons. And then you're like, "Well, maybe I just don't want to go." I'm like, "Okay, then say that. Say I don't want to go to something." I just
understand why someone why I'm just gonna speak this night specifically, but like, what if I wanted to get my work done for school, literally do my laundry that I had to do. Like I had so much work and sit there and fold it and clean my room and do all that. I don't have a cleaning lady. I don't have someone to do my laundry. Little things like that.
Okay.
But those are little things and tasks that you just like don't seem to remember that it might not be things that are out of the house busy, but are still things that need to get done.
Okay.
It doesn't take me 45 minutes to do my schoolwork. Sometimes that could take me, I would need 4 hours.
You're off the topic again. We had this discussion on a Wednesday. You decided.
Yeah, but I'm behind on things now because of it.
Sure. Okay. So.
And that can lead to a downfall
so
in the rest
say,
of my other
hey,
weeks.
I don't prioritize this as much as I prioritize that. It's as simple. You didn't want to go. You didn't prioritize going as much as you prioritize other things. And there's nothing wrong with that. Mm-hmm. But you're trying to be like, oh, I can't do something. It's like, well, you can. You can just shift your schedule around. You can make this work, no questions asked.
I just don't think we're seeing eye to eye on this. And that's okay.
You're right. It is okay. Again, the point I'm saying is that you think I was saying something completely different. You're saying that you're not busy. I'm not saying you're not busy. Everybody's busy in their own ways. But when someone points out something to you that makes a solution for a problem that you have, and then 10 minutes later, you're like, well, maybe I just don't want to go. I'm like, then say that. That's the problem. You don't want to go. It's not that you don't have time.
I don't want to go. I think I was just irritated by that point.
So then say that. Like, this whole situation annoys me. I don't care to go. And then I would have let it go, because you do this a lot where you make up scenarios and you blame other things instead of just saying, hey, I don't want to go. Because you're a people pleaser too. You want to please people. Just like, hey, do you know what? I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, and I'm starting to. I said I didn't want to do something because I wanted to watch Dancing with the Stars.
And good. And that's how it should be. Whatever makes you happy is what you should do. And if you don't want to fucking do something, don't fucking do it. If you know what, if you want to stay in and fucking do laundry and clean your room because that is the one little thing that's destroying your life, be like, hey, cleaning my room is more important than hanging out with you fucking losers tonight.
It is most of the time.
And there's nothing wrong with that, because that to you, that is the most important thing.
Because
I bail on things 24/7 to go to the gym. Yeah. And I have no shame with it, because me going to the gym on my Tuesday night when I didn't get to go in the morning or at lunch
makes you feel better.
Is more important than hanging out with you.
Yeah.
And I have no problem saying that.
Agreed.
But you won't be like, oh, I can't. I gotta, I was so busy this morning because I slept in, and then, at lunch I had a bigger lunch because a client was here, and then, I know traffic's gonna be really bad, blah, blah. It's like, no, I'd rather go to the gym and hang out with you. Simple as that.
Okay, I'll be more direct.
Yeah, just be like, yo, Ricky, fuck off.
Yeah, you're being fucking annoying.
Just be like, yo, Ricky, I don't care to go. Are you happy? That's it. I don't care.
I did say that in the conversation.
That's all I'm saying is say that from the beginning next time.
Okay.
Don't be like, oh,
anyways, I went to the event and
I know you did.
Everything was fine.
But Dani, I'm really happy. Like, even this whole episode, you did majority of the talking, and you seem like you're very happy right now, and I love this for you.
Yeah, but it'll be happier like when I start finding those little ways. Number one, to go on dates, meeting people, but I just know everything's gonna fall into place.
Agreed, everything will, but you make sure you're working towards it. Mm-hmm. That's all I'm saying. Because again, I haven't been that lucky, and there's some literally shitty things that have happened recently. Like, obviously, you know about the Elaine situation. Like, there's another situation that happened, which is like very gut wrenching too. And I just feel like my luck is changing, and that's why I'm focusing right now on slowing down and doing the things to get my luck back, because I do believe luck is built. And you can work towards being lucky, and I strongly fucking believe it. Some people are just unlucky, and my heart goes out towards them, and it's the fucking most gut-wrenching thing when shitty things happen to really good people. But I do believe if you believe you are lucky and you work towards being lucky, luck will find you. I strongly believe that.
Do you think like things, like you feel like you're unlucky because you're focusing on like the things that are going wrong then rather than focusing on the things that are going positive? Because there is a lot of good things going on in your life.
There's so many amazing things.
Everything has to be 100% perfect all the time.
No, agreed. It's just like even this whole summer, a lot of times I just feel like things didn't fall into places they normally do for me. Mm-hmm. Like the things I worked towards, I achieved. Like I haven't even told you some of the stuff recently because you were away this weekend, but like one.
That's why I try to call you sometimes and be like, "How are you?"
No, but you do it every single day in the car at the same time.
Well, no, it was not the same time.
Sunday
night at 8 p.m. is not a regular time.
Well, I know you were driving home from Montreal, so I know you're in the car bored by yourself. Call me when you're at home.
I don't like talking
after
about
dinner.
I'm busy.
After dinner.
Once.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I was painting one night.
I don't.
I started
know.
painting again.
Yeah. Because I know when you call me, because sometimes you call me in the car and then I call you back 2 hours later. I'm like, hey, what's up? You're like, oh, I'm actually busy. I got to go by. That's why I know you didn't have to call me about anything important.
Yeah, I just wanted to check in.
So then check in with me at 8 p.m. later.
We already went there.
Anyways,
Go.
but I'm just saying is I found that lately I'm getting all these little wins, and some of them aren't even little. Some of them are massive wins, and I'm just sweeping them under the rug. Actually, I said this at other ship yesterday at the very end. They were like, does anybody want to speak? And I said, it's important to slow down. It's important to slow down and appreciate the journey rather than just chasing the finish line, because you're always going to be moving the finish line no matter where you are, what you're doing. There's always that next finish line. And one day there's not going to be a finish line. You're not going to make it there. And this whole game of life is over and you didn't appreciate the journey. And lately I've been chasing these finish lines and I'm getting them all and I'm moving on to the next one. And then I hit a road bump or a speed bump and I'm going so fast I feel like I'm losing control. And, you know, like the Elaine situation was a weird one. And, you know, we dealt with that. And then another thing happened recently, which was another really shitty thing to like a person I've known my whole entire life. And that was just like, it just shakes things around. And then it's tough to appreciate the little wins because I'm like, fuck, these little wins don't matter when someone I care so much about is, you know, might die. Like, what's my book matter in the big picture, right? You're just little things. And I feel like there's a lot of weird things happening. That being said, I'm getting back to the things that bring me joy and happiness and the little things, the little victories I can get and focusing on them and slowing down because that's what you need. You need a kick in the ass sometimes. Like the other day or yesterday was the first time in a long time where I felt like I was losing control. Yesterday morning. It was the first time I'm like, even with the Elaine situation, I never felt like I was losing control. I was always there. I knew she was going to be fine. I knew she wasn't dying. It shook me, but we were good. Like I was with her every day. I saw her every single day, so I was never worried. Something that happened yesterday shook me to my fucking core, and it was it was the first time where I'm like, I might be losing control. And so I literally went to bed. I got a good sleep, and I'm just like, today I woke up and I'm like, okay, let's stay fucking grounded. Let's focus on the shit I need to focus on because we are not losing control. We've got this. I'm gonna say no to certain things. I'm gonna cancel certain things. I'm going to make sure that I do the shit I need to do to take care of myself because we are not losing control. We did not go this fucking fast, this fucking far to lose control now. So it's a friendly reminder for myself and maybe anybody listening, but this episode's not about me. It's about you. No,
why can't it be about both of us? Like, why does it always
because
need to be
we're
one or
running
two?
out of time. We are running out of time. And I did, Janelle. I do think this was one of your better episodes too. I think you were all over the place at times, but I think you made sense.
I think it was a lot all over the place.
No, I think you made sense. I genuinely do believe you made sense because I was following and I was asking questions to just learn more about what you were saying. And I'm 100% sure someone's going to listen to this and relate to you wholeheartedly. So thank you for sharing, Danielle.
Thanks for listening.
Anything else you want to add? Since this episode's basically about you. Anything else you want to add?
No, I'm just excited.
Excited for the rest of the year?
Yeah.
We've got a lot of updates coming up, and we won't get...
like a lot of fun things.
Yeah, a lot of really fun.
I think I'm ready for these changes. I'm ready to keep going.
All right.
And that's it. If you've made it to the end, thank you for listening to the Pals podcast. And please give Ricky a follow and Dani a follow. And that's it.
We'll see you next week.
Bye.